See, now we have moved in 21st century. So there has been a lot of research, lot of new methods of teaching. Teach the students in a different way. So जेव्हा internet सुरू झालं, there was such a lot of change in the way we teach. म्हणजे first we were teaching in all sorts of ways. That was also good for that time. But now the children, they are exposed to a lot more. They are exposed to the internet, to podcasts, to smartphones. They are themselves participating in sports. They are taught in such a scientific and researched way that we teachers have to keep abreast with them. Okay? So we all have to learn some skills, some kind of training that we need to do ourselves so that we can teach our children to become equipped for the 21st century. म्हणजे आजचं जे डे अँड टाइम आहे आपण आपल्या स्टुडंट्सला तयार करायचं आहे त्याच्याकरता. तर त्याच्याकरता खूप रिसर्च करून एक 21st सेंचुरी स्किल्स म्हणजे मॉडर्न टाइम्सचे काय स्किल्स आपल्याला लागतील ते एज्युकेशन मध्ये पण रोजच्या रोज काहीतरी अपग्रेडिंग होत आहे. There's lots going on. Even as we speak, as we are interacting with each other, so much is going on. So what they have done, they have found out that we have to teach children in a way that it brings out their individuality. त्यांची स्वतःची जी पर्सनॅलिटी आहे, स्वतःचे स्किल्स आहेत, इंटेलिजन्स आहे, एक्सपिरियन्स आहे, ते आपल्याला काढायचं. म्हणजे फक्त टीचर शिकवते. देन ऑफ कोर्स इन आवर सिस्टम आपण एक्झाम्स करतो, असेसमेंट्स करतो, पण ते पुरेशी नाही. दॅट्स नॉट इनफ. ओके, सो व्हॉट वी नीड टू डू इज teach them in a way that they can express individuality. They have got self-expression. They are creative. They use their own intelligence, not just the intelligence of the teacher. That means they have to use the teacher's intelligence as a stepping stone. They step on it and they go further on into life. The 21st century skills for teachers. तर याच्यामध्ये what does it involve? काय काय असतं? आपण काय शिकू शकतो? कसं शिकू शकतो? So it has got 4 C's. That's called communication, collaboration, creativity and critical thinking. आता critical thinking म्हणजे काय? म्हणजे जेव्हा when a child hears or reads or writes something, he absorbs that concept or training in his mind. Then he analyzes it. He synthesizes it into different parts. Then he understands it and then he recreates it. So simultaneously, within few seconds, so much activity is going on inside a child's mind. So how do we help them? First thing, we help them by making them comfortable. म्हणजे they are allowed to be expressive. When you see them on the playground, they're making so much of noise. When we put them in groups, in class, they will make a noise, but we will tell them just tone it down so that we don't disturb the children in the other classrooms. So just look, can one of you read what is written on this, or should we continue? Is like a screen? Would you like to read? Okay, yes, I will read. Yes, come on, what is written? 4 C's. Please, Vacha.
Critical thinking, communication, yes, collaboration, and creativity.
Wonderful, wonderful. So these are basically the 4 C's of the 21st century teacher skills. तर आता आपण पुढे बघू. क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग म्हणजे माइंड ऍक्टिव्ह असतं मुलांचं. खूप एनर्जी असते. All the time they are thinking, they are looking at us, they are watching the teacher. The way she's speaking, does she know? Immediately they'll ask you questions which is not there in the book. They are so clever that they want to know if the teacher knows, if the teacher has complete mastery of the subject. So what important part is that 4 C's of communication are not a separate chapter. एक वेगळं chapter नाही आहे. आपण त्याला every lesson मध्ये incorporate करतो. म्हणजे स्टुडंट्सला फ्री हँड देतो अंडरस्टँड करायला. and we try to find out if they have learned. तर आपण काय करतो? कशाला शिकवतो? Because not only does it improve their communication skills, but academic knowledge म्हणजे intelligence आणि later on in life they become complete global citizens. त्याच्याकरता आपण स्वतः ट्रान्सफॉर्म करतो. आपण इंग्रजीमध्ये म्हणतो एम्पथेटिक पेडागॉजी. एम्पथेटिक म्हणजे काय? छोट्या मुलाच्या माइंड मध्ये आपण एंटर करतो अँड वी ट्राय टू फाइंड आउट हाऊ डज ही टेक द लेसन, हाऊ डज ही और शी अंडरस्टँड. त्याला काय समजलंय? आपण जे बोलून राहिलो त्याच्या मनामध्ये गेलाय का? कारण की एव्हरी चाइल्ड कम्स फ्रॉम अ डिफरंट कल्चरल बॅकग्राऊंड, डिफरंट एज्युकेशनल एक्सपोजर. तर आपण त्यांना सर्वांना इन्क्लुसिव्ह एज्युकेशन देऊन राहिलो. पण एक एक जे आपल्याकडे स्टुडंट आहे इंडिव्हिज्युअल आहे, स्वतःची पर्सनॅलिटी आहे. कसं समजलं, काय समजलं, आपल्याला काय सांगेल तो, अप्लाय कसं करेल बाहेरच्या वर्ल्डमध्ये. बरं, आता आपण त्यांना म्हणतो की बी क्रिएटिव्ह, बी क्रिएटिव्ह. क्रिएटिव्ह म्हणजे काय? म्हणजे आन्सर द्यायचं पण स्वतःच्या यु नो स्टाईल. In your own unique style, you give an answer. So critical thinking is when the mind starts working logically, understanding and giving answers. But आपण कसं काय स्टुडंट्सला शिकवायचं? How do we apply these critical thinking skills? आता आजकाल स्टुडंट्सला इतकं इन्फॉर्मेशन ओव्हरलोड मिळतं ऑल द टाइम. स्पोर्ट्स नाहीतर ते जातात ऑनलाईन क्लासेसला, ऑफलाईन क्लासेसला. कोणी संगीत शिकून राहिलं, somebody is learning Zumba dancing, someone's learning how to play hockey, and also they're researching in those fields. So they have so much of information on their minds that they don't know what they have to absorb. But now if they find information, they start absorbing it the way they learn it. जे वाचतात ते बिलीव्ह करतात. So we have to train them की जे तुम्ही वाचता there is something more beyond that meaning. त्या मिनिंगचं जे ऑथर आपल्याला ट्राय करून राहिलं, कॉन्टेक्स्ट काय आहे, कशाला आपल्याला सांगून राहिलं की हे हे इन्फॉर्मेशन आहे ऑन दिस पर्टिक्युलर टॉपिक. सो दे हॅव टू अनालाइज. They have to know how to make their own perspective out of what they're reading. That is where we teach them. We teach them with intense friendship, intense love. Create an atmosphere where even if they make mistakes, they're allowed to speak. So we teach them that the written word is not always the gospel truths. You have to find out so many other ideas, thoughts on that particular topic. Of course, they can use the internet. I mean, international schools, they encourage them when they go home to form groups on the internet and to study together. So they research. Yes. So now the children, what they actually do is we give them a topic. Now, see, in the 1900s, there was an author called H.G. Wells in England. So he used to predict science fiction. की फ्युचरमध्ये काय होईल. तर 100 years later त्यांनी जे लिहिलं होतं इट हॅज कम ट्रू. ही रोट अबाउट द टाइम मशीन, द वॉर ऑफ द प्लॅनेट्स. तर आता अमेरिका, रशिया, ते स्पेसमध्ये त्यांची भांडणं चालू आहे. Looking for new planets for human beings to live on. So what has happened now? We have to give them some ideas, our students. So there is a little story. There was a professor in England in the 1900s, a very bad man. He had criminal bent of mind. And he found a potion. He was a scientist. He found a potion, some liquid that if you drink it, a man becomes invisible. So he had not paid his rent for many, many days. So the landlord came and he said की माझे पैसे द्या. तुम्ही दिलेलं नाही rent. So मी तुम्हाला 2 दिवस देतो. The griffin got so angry that he burnt down the house of the landlord. But then the police were after him. So what did he do? He drank that magic potion, which he had himself invented, and he became invisible. Now winter time in London is very, very cold. पण मग त्याला कपडे काढावे लागले. so that no one could see him. Freezing cold, he ran. And the story goes, wherever he went inside a mall. In those days, they used to have supermarkets. He went running into a student's university. He went out of town on a train. Over there also, he fought, he stole money. He frightened the landlady to such an extent that she thought that a devil had come inside her house. कोणी भूत आलं. तर तो फाईट करत करत एस्केप करायचं नेहमी. तर आपण स्टोरी शिकवतो. ही एक 10th स्टँडर्ड टेक्स्टबुक मध्ये आहे, H.G. वेल्स चॅप्टर फुटप्रिंट्स विदाउट फीट. मुलांना आपण ही स्टोरी सांगितली. देन वी टेल देम हाऊ डिड यू अंडरस्टँड इट. तर काही काही स्ट्रॅटेजीज आपण वापरतो. ओके. How do we use critical thinking skills? आता बघा, आजकाल the moment a child has to go for an interview, that means after 10th standard, if he wants to join a good college for 11th and 12th standard, they will ask him general knowledge. The general knowledge madhe, I'll just have some water. Thank you. General knowledge madhe, they ask them, global warming म्हणजे काय? तुम्हाला काय वाटतं? रिलिजन आपण फॉलो केलं पाहिजे का? दुसऱ्या रिलिजन्सला आपण त्यांची आयडिओलॉजी समजली पाहिजे का? They ask them issues which are going around the whole world. They might say, if you go to study abroad, will you become a citizen of that country? What are the rules? So what happens is that a story like this, Footprints Without Feet, gives them an idea to start thinking that science fiction is also relevant. It can happen. So we tell them, now you form a little prey, or when you want to answer, you make a little scene, either out of drawing or out of plasticine, Lego, or you can make little poems out of it. But the teacher and the other students in the class, we have to know that you have understood this story. So children can be very creative. Once they are comfortable, they know nobody is going to laugh at them. They can use so many different tools to understand what's going on. Canva. On the internet, there is a tool called Canva where they can make lots of beautiful pictures and make a little video out of it. Many schools ask children to make videos when they're on holiday. They send it with explanation to the videography department of any school, and then it is showed in class on a laptop. Tata Pushkarshi schools open children laptop देत नाही. But we have to start speaking with the management. Let us have one laptop per class, so we can show them the research even of the teacher. All right. So now, grasp of the topic, learning, recreating. That is called critical thinking. तर त्याच्याकरता आपण त्यांना बोलायला शिकवतो. Talk with each other and express yourself. But आता strategies असतात. How can we make them speak, understand, collaborate? Just stretch it. Stretch it. It means that the teacher becomes an expert in asking questions. We just don't say that, did you have your breakfast this morning? The child will say yes or no. But if we ask him, why are you late to school? What happened? Please tell me. I want to know. I'm interested. The 2-3 sentences at least he has to speak. So we become experts at asking questions. So on any topic, that is called stretching. Okay? घरी जे homework देतो आपण त्यांना थोडं creative homework देऊ. Not just write answers to questions, पण similar examples तुम्ही आम्हाला सांगा. म्हणजे कधी builder आले आणि त्यांनी trees cut down करून गेले. And next year, the summer went to more than 42 degrees. This year in Pune, in Koregaon Park, we had 45 degrees in the summer. Why? Because near the river, they have cut down millions of trees. So we can ask them to find similar examples. Read the newspapers, meet experts, look at the internet, hear experts on it. There are so many TV programs which tell us about the environment. हे सर्व त्यांना क्लासमध्ये आणायचं आहे. in the next class. In the beginning, it's difficult. आता हे pictures बघा, groups बनवलेले. Children are studying together. In a class of 40, if you make groups of about 5 or 6, they will learn in a very friendly way. Thereupon, we set some protocols. Everyone has to contribute. Everybody's ideas are respected. There is a lot of intra energy between students. And then, like a relay, one child starts giving the answers, the next child takes the next line, the next child takes the next few lines, and everyone speaks up. It's a lot of fun. They will all participate. So what happens? They research, they share with their friends, they share with the teacher, they share with other groups. And so this is called interdisciplinary learning. तर आपण त्यांना encourage करून राहिले to communicate, to work as a team, to get along with people, to develop themselves. हे सर्व केलं तर त्यांचं जे understanding आहे, it becomes much, much deeper than what it is right now. Not just reading from the board, not just hearing the teacher, right? And micro level is deeper understanding. Macro level is they become curious people. In their whole lives, they start finding out, why is this matter given to us in such a way? There has to be a reason. Why do we talk about planting trees? There has to be a reason. Why do we talk about not wasting, like not going and allowing people to use plastic? So we teach them. Plastic is being used to make roads nowadays. In the concrete, they put plastic so that we don't know how to dispose of this waste, but this can be done. So they find out, how can we put, now a lot of hospitals are known to throw their waste into the sea. What is happening? Marine life is getting destroyed. So children find out what is good, what is wrong, how can we stop it, how can we contribute. Okay, so critical thinking, problem solving, these have been found to be the greatest skills a student needs to learn in the 21st century. And what do? As teachers, we give them ideas, we guide them, we give them lots of reasons why they should or they should not do particular, why they should develop their voices, why they should train as public speakers, why they should present a good virtual image. Everything is going to be online. Now, schools have started, activities have gone offline, but still, research, medical research, scientific research, everything is online and available. So we teach them that you yourself one day will conduct the program. So how will you connect with your audience? How will you find out? Have they learned? Connect with the eyes, with gestures, with bodily movements. So we use bodily movements, body language. We teach them. We put on some music or we give them a rhythm. We have so many tals in our own Indian classical music. We teach them to sing a song about pollution on the tals. Now you know, you've heard such a lot of Indian classical music. Okay? All right. So creativity. Now we had looked at critical thinking. Let's look at creativity. According to you, creativity म्हणजे काय? काय पण, whatever comes to your mind. Okay? Now, there is no such a thing as a right or a wrong answer. तुमच्या मनामध्ये जे आलंय, that you share with me. So, creativity, intelligence जे आहे, we have to allow that intelligence to have a lot of fun. Do whatever you like with the topic. Either you paint, you sing, you make poetry, you enact a drama, you play a musical instrument, you share your ideas, you all get together and wear costumes and then put dialogues to what you have understood. The children do that very well, but we have to guide them all along. Okay? So we have to allow them to have expression, self-expression. Painting. Now, how many of you are painters? I'm sure all of you, apart from teaching, You must be singing, you must be playing a sport, you must be cooking, and maybe you play an instrument also. That is your creative side, but you can use it for education. Okay, so what are we trying to achieve? Is that students should go beyond what they have learned, not just accept what the teacher is telling them, but apply their own thinking capacity and do this very creatively so that they enjoy. Now, look on the right side, there is a picture which tells you the importance of trees. So, one of the children can become a tree. They can have a conversation with earth, with water, with lakes, with water bodies, with rainfall, clouds, sunlight. So they understand that they take the sun's rays, the heat of the sun's rays, they take moisture from the atmosphere, they have chlorophyll in their leaves, and then a process of photosynthesis develops the starch into root. The roots, they hold on to soil so that there is no soil pollution. So learning becomes a lot of fun. You will know that when you allow children to express themselves creatively, they have learned what you have taught them. Okay, let's go ahead. How do we support it? We tell them, you can draw, you can sing. Nowadays, there's a lot of research how music can be used in the classroom. So in the beginning of the class, we can do a little dance so that a lot of children, they carry some baggage sometimes, not always. Someone might have said something to them. Maybe the mother has said, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, you'll be late to class. The bus comes late, so they're a little disturbed. You start with a little song and a dance sequence. The bodily movements, you will see that they are able to express. Now, तुम्ही जेव्हा TV बघता, and if the newscaster is saying that there was a tsunami and a huge wave came on to the beach at Chennai and so many people died. When a newscaster gives sad news, they're going to look sad. But when they give happy news, they're going to look happy. So children, when they start performing or speaking in front of a class, presenting, they will inherently speak with emotion. When they say something happy, they will look happy. They will use hand gestures. They will be so immensely charged, that everyone's looking at them. That is what we want. Uninhibited creativity. So we tell them there's so many tools available to you, like I've just recounted. These are a few, there are many, many more. Music, dance, theater, plasticine, Lego, costumes, weaponry, jewelry. So look at all these pictures. These are some of the ways you can ask your students to use props, right? To express what they have learned, photography, videos. Okay. So we look now at two aspects of 4 C's of communication. One was critical thinking, one was creativity. Now let's look at collaboration. It simply means people work together. So in the corporate world also, companies get together, they collaborate, their skills, their talent, their resources. So we are teaching them at a very young age. What is our job as a teacher? We map the potential of a child. त्याच्यामध्ये किती हुशारी आहे आणि आपण त्या हुशारीला पुढे पुढावा द्यायला काय काय करू शकतो. Each child has to glow to their full potential. आणि म्हणून आपण collaborate करायला सांगतो. So the teacher actually takes a back seat. Concepts सांगा, stories सांगा, science सांगा, maths सांगा, but they have to work in groups. तर आपण त्यांना काय सांगू? टीम अप. कधी कधी 2 लोकांची टीम्स तुम्ही बनवा, कधी 7 लोकांची बनवा. Let them work on that particular idea together. Come up with answers, perform in front of the class. Then the groups can talk to each other. काय काय तुम्ही रिसर्च करून आणलेलं आहे, तुमचे एक्सपिरियन्सेस काय आहे, तुम्ही लोकांशी बोलून काय शिकला. So there's so many ways in which people collaborate. They have a common goal. Common goal is finding out what the teacher has guided them to find out. And so they develop teams. They develop leadership qualities, confidence, self-respect, worthiness. So many things children develop when they collaborate. तर आपण त्यांना पुष्कळसं प्रोत्साहन द्यायचं. Come on, you can do it. You can talk, you can address the class. You can find out and accept and respect the ideas of others. We teach them to become global citizens. And of course, we tell them that one person cannot hijack the meeting. सर्वांना contribute करायचं आहे. आणि मग social skills develop करतो. आपल्या सर्वांच्या पर्सनॅलिटीज वेगळ्या असतात, but we learn to accept. कोणी रागीट असतं, कोणी person he has no patience, he or she. कोणी खूपच जास्ती hyperactive असतं. But we accept and we grow with people. So you can team them, make them into groups. Jigsaw reading is another strategy. म्हणजे एक जर तुमच्याकडे chapter आहे. Now, about 100 years ago, एक सुधा मूर्ती मॅमची एक नॉव्हेल आहे, ऑफ द कोस्ट ऑफ गुजरात. एक खूप मोठं द्वीप होतं, द्वीप आयलंड. आणि तिकडे एक महाराजा होता, यंग, आणि ही वॉज व्हेरी ॲरोगंट. स्वतःला काही म्हणजे ही थॉट तो जगातला सर्वात गुड लुकिंग, रिच, फर्स्ट क्लास सिटीजन आहे. Because his island nation was very, very rich. त्याच्या नेशन मध्ये काय झालं? आपण रिक्वेस्ट करू का सर्वांना प्लीज म्यूट करा, बिकॉज एव्हरीवन एल्स कॅन हिअर देम. थँक्यू. त्याच्या आयलंड मध्ये खूप संगमरमरचे डिपॉझिट्स होते. And there were sculptors. They used to teach students who used to come from the mainland of India. So the island nation was very rich. But one day, all the marble got over. It was an island. It was not a country. It was a country independent, but it was aligned to the states of India. When the marble got over, people started sculpting on trees. The teachers, sculptors started teaching them on trees. So one head sculptor went to the Maharaja and said, please Maharaj, stop this activity of cutting down trees. But he didn't listen because there was so much money coming into his island nation. Because when people came from the mainland of India to learn, they used to go to the eateries, they used to entertain themselves, they used to shop. So that nation was very, very rich. मग काय झालं पुढे? सर्व झाडं त्यांनी कापून टाकली. पाणी संपलं. Rainfall stopped. आणि drought. म्हणजे पाणीच नव्हतं. Crops आले नाही. Water bodies dried up. Most of the people went to India to earn money. So her head sculptor जो होता, he went to the Maharaja and he said, let us plant millions of trees. You will have to take a loan because you won't have money. And we will get the water in containers from the mainland. So the whole span of the story is about 20 years. But they planted trees, they got labor, they got the water in containers, they got good soil and manure. They watered them for 2 years. After 2 years, most trees look after themselves. In any case, the soil had water because it was an island. And then after 2 years, the trees started growing. Then after many years, the whole country became almost forested. Rainfall returned, lakes, waterfalls, rivers got filled up, and prosperity returned to that island. Now, a story like that, children can be very, very creative. Someone can act like the Maharaja, someone acts like the sculptor, adds dialogue, adds emphasis, the Maharaja shouts. So inherently they learn to use their bodies, 5 senses of smell. They learn to become performers. It's very important for them. Supposing they are a CEO of a company and that company has departments all over the world. So they'll have to talk on a video conferencing call to everybody. greatest part of communication skills is that the audience has to like us. If I'm speaking and my audience does not like me, that communication is stopped right there. So from a child's age, we teach them how do you communicate. Develop a magnetic field with your audience. Teach yourself that your audience has to like you. So jigsaw reading, teaming up, helping them to learn and get along with others. And then, as we said at the bottom right side, setting the protocols, teacher has to always be involved with what's going on. Otherwise, they might start fighting. They might not do, some students might just enjoy themselves. But this learning process, the transfer of knowledge from the teacher to the student, it has to be a flow. So we get involved. We make sure they don't misbehave. They don't behave like bullies. Everyone is on an equal footing. Right. So, critical thinking, collaboration, creativity. Now, let's look at communication, which is by far the largest skill a child can be given by a teacher. How to use his voice, how to use his body, how to stand up and speak in front of an audience. Now, oration started at the time of the Greeks, when the emperor used to call extremely intelligent people and ask them to give speeches. That's when public speaking started. So we went into literature, to poetry, to drama. So why not use these? In literature, we have imagery. We just say the thundering water of the waterfalls, Niagara Falls. So what happens is, immediately you get an image. Let them use that imagery. Let children use poetry. Let them, excuse me, love the fact that there are so many tools that they can use. Daffodils by Wordsworth. When you're reading it, the only thing you imagine, the whole area, like the Khas plateau near Satara, is filled with flowers. Valley of Flowers in Manali, but a poet has to recreate that scene for us. So this is what we teach our children, to use all the tools that the Almighty has given us. The teacher comes in the form of Almighty God. We remember that. We love the children. Yes, so we make them into pairs, they think together, they share together, they communicate with the class together, they present together, they use tools, they make sure that whatever has been taught to them has been recreated, recounted in the best possible way that they can do it. And we applaud them, we acknowledge them, we reward them, we give them certificates. If you give them a job, that come on, let's write one page of a newspaper. One of you is the editor, the others are journalists, one is a copywriter, and then one is a person who does the artwork. So they create one page. If they do it well, you tell them to present it to the whole school. There's nothing like rewarding a child. They are so happy if we do that because it builds their self-worth. तर आपण हे केलं पाहिजे आपल्या चिल्ड्रन करता. आता बघा, अपार्ट फ्रॉम वर्किंग इन ग्रुप्स, तुमची जी हुशारी आहे एखाद्या वेळी माझ्यामध्ये नसेल. माझं जे एक्सपिरियन्स आहे ऑफ सो मेनी इयर्स ऑफ टीचिंग, आय कॅन शेअर विथ यू, ऑल ऑफ युअर यंग पीपल. तर आपण एक दुसऱ्यापासून खूप शिकतो. इंटरॅक्शन, that is called communication, is that it goes on at a subconscious level. तर तुम्ही काय म्हणाल तर मला त्याच्यामध्ये खूप चांगला अर्थ काढता येतो. So that's what we teach our children. Let's try to communicate at a subconscious level. Then you must be wondering, how does this work? At a body language. If any child is angry, he's throwing material around, he's trying to disturb and destroy the work done by others, he isn't speaking anything, you know, immediately that he is disturbed. So we try to work with them so that that child also has potential. That is known as communication skills. So many times when people speak, they don't mean it. They speak one thing, they act in another way, and they are actually thinking about a third thing. So that is what we tell our children to find out. Okay? So they share their individual perspectives, they share group perspectives, they take out an outcome out of their own work together, and then they put it in front of the class. So they have a lot of fun doing it. They develop brilliance. So let us take a recap. We have the 4 C's of communication, which will help us teachers develop 21st century skills to teach in the classroom. It will help our children develop in a holistic way. Intelligence, speaking, acting, music, thinking before speaking, forming sentences, standing in front of a class, developing confidence. These are all the things that we are teaching them in the 21st century classroom. And then we make them into active listeners. Listening is a very important part of communication skills. Active listeners. What is being said? What is the meaning? Why am I being told this information? We tell them not to follow it. Most likely this presentation is going to be shared with you, and therefore I'm not reading each and every item which is there out of this presentation which I have made. PowerPoint. All right, so that brings us to the conclusion of our presentation today, our session on 21st century skills for teachers. Now, I have taken a lot of this content from one course which was conducted by the Center for Teachers Accreditation, which is based in Chennai. They are an organization and they run online classes. They are world recognized. They collaborate with the Oxford University. Whenever you give a class, you borrow material from some other author, make sure that you give credits. All right. I hope that you enjoyed this session as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. And I hope that in case if you have any questions, I will be so happy to answer them. Anything at all, please don't be frightened. Please don't be nervous that maybe my question is not correct. See, when we make mistakes, our learnings we share with our other participants. चुकीचं बोललो तरी आपण बोलायला पाहिजे कारण की मग आपल्याला कळतं की what is the right answer. Come on, now don't get frightened. काही विचारायचं असेल, काही शेअर करायचं असेल, काही प्रॉब्लेम्स असतील, काही आपण इंट्रोड्यूस करायला आपल्याला पाहिजे आपल्या क्लासेसमध्ये, प्लीज सांगा. आपण together we will work on it. Okay? घाबरू नका. मराठीत बोला, कन्नडामध्ये बोला. I'll ask Srinivas ji to interpret it. बरं, 2 minute मध्ये तुम्ही. Yes, yes, come on, I'm so happy, please. तुमच्यापैकी कोणी सिंगर्स आहात का? हाँ बोला प्लीज.
मैं क्लास सेकंड में पढ़ाती हूँ.
हाँ जी.
हाँ, एक स्टूडेंट है वहाँ जो पढ़ना ही नहीं चाहता है बिल्कुल भी. कहता है मैं लिखूंगा भी नहीं, मैं पढ़ूंगा भी नहीं, बस बैठूंगा. हाउ कैन वी टीच देम नाउ?
आपने कभी उनके पेरेंट्स के साथ बात करी है
कि है ना, कहते हैं वो बहुत शरारती है, आपको ही उसको सिखाना पड़ेगा.
अच्छा,
आप कोशिश कीजिए.
कभी क्लास में उसको रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दीजिए कि आप अभी आज के दिन के लिए मॉनिटर हैं, क्लास मॉनिटर हैं. आपको देखना है कि अदर स्टूडेंट्स ज़्यादा आवाज़ नहीं करते हैं, स्टडी करते हैं ठीक से. मैं आपको बोलूंगी कि आपने क्यों नहीं देखा. उनको रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दीजिए और देखिए.
हाँ, तो ऐसे ऐसे रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी देंगे ना तो वो बड़ी खुशी से करता है, लेकिन पढ़ाई कुछ नहीं करेगा, लिखेगा कुछ नहीं।
आहिस्ता आहिस्ता, आई नो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट समटाइम्स वी गेट
हाँ।
स्टूडेंट्स बहुत तकलीफ देते हैं, वो आते ही हैं कि मैं आज टीचर को बहुत तकलीफ दूंगा, पर क्या हम लोग कर सकते हैं? आप डांस म्यूजिक यूज करते हैं क्लास में?
हाँ करते हैं ना, पोएम्स वगैरह में बहुत ज्यादा इन्वॉल्व करते हैं बच्चों को।
अच्छा, पर ये जो बॉडीली मूवमेंट, आई एम श्योर यू डू इट, आई एम नॉट सेइंग आवर एजुकेशन सिस्टम इज वेरी गुड, पर ये
यस।
body upon we use, sometimes you can take one socks, you put it on
हाँ
the hand and you say this
हाँ
is a puppet. Okay,
हाँ।
so that child, you tell him that everyone is going to have a puppet and you are going to use that puppet to speak and also to make some actions. When I ask you questions, you have to ask your puppet to answer. तो उनके जो mind है ना, it gets diverted by some new activities.
हाँ
Puppet is one example. Or you teach them, you take two dandiya sticks and you tell them. Now, supposing his name is Raj. So Raj has only one syllable of sound. Okay? Matlab Raj. Nahi to, supposing somebody's name is Kevin. Kevin has two sounds. So if his name is Raj, you tell him, when I ask you what is your name, you just make one sound, Raj. If your name is Kevin, Kevin, two sounds. Something that diverts their mind. Supposing he is naughty, but maybe he is very intelligent. So uska jo intelligence hai, we have to work on it. To find
हाँ
different ways.
हाँ जी। थैंक
First
यू
thing,
मैम।
give them lot of respect, lot of love. Tell him he's the best. You can do it. You're the class monitor. Just go ahead. But then you tell him, look, you also have to know what you're telling the other children to do. If you say don't make noise, then you also have to do the same thing. But don't punish.
हाँ
Okay?
यस, दैट्स द रीजन। थैंक यू मैडम।
You're most welcome. I'm so happy. It's a lovely question. Thank you so much. Thank you. And और कोई है शेयर करना चाहेगा? उनके स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते हैं क्लास में? हाँ करते क्या करते हैं? मस्ती करते हैं? मस्ती करते हैं, क्या क्या करते हैं बच्चे लोग?
हेलो मिस।
हाँ जी, बोलिए प्रीति।
हाँ मिस, क्लास में अगर 30 से ज्यादा बच्चे हो तो
हाँ,
उनमें कैसे ग्रुप करना है, उनमें कैसे इंटेलिजेंस वाले को अलग करना है, थोड़ा पीछा समझ मतलब अंडरस्टैंडिंग कम होता है ना, कई बच्चों का
yes.
अटेंशन नहीं आता है क्लास में, तो उसके लिए क्या करना है?
अच्छा, अभी आप कौन से एज ग्रुप के कौन से स्टूडेंट्स हैं आपके?
थर्ड स्टैंडर्ड
थर्ड स्टैंडर्ड। वो तो बहुत मस्ती करते हैं क्लास में।
क्लास में।
तो आप उनको ना ट्राई करिए, ग्रुप्स बनाइए उनको।
जी
ओके,
मिस।
और
Okay.
उनको सपोजिंग आप यू आर टीचिंग देम हाउ टू,
मतलब क्या है, 5-6 students are more intelligent,
yes,
then
yes.
20 to 20 or 22 is medium, and last 4 they are मतलब वो
Yes.
कुछ भी नहीं समझते वो नहीं समझते, वही क्लास में ज्यादा दंगा करते हैं।
एब्सोल्युटली प्रीति, एब्सोल्युटली। तो आप मेंटरिंग करिए, म्हणजे जो 4-5 स्टूडेंट्स इंटेलिजेंट हैं, you first thing you make a class into groups. If you have 30 students, make them into groups of 5 or 6. Each group you put one intelligent student. So that student, with his intelligence, he will teach the other student, because he doesn't have to become a teacher. They will copy him or her, what he talks, what he doesn't do. So you make them into groups and then you teach them. Supposing you're teaching them a poem, first
Poem.
few lines, yes, this group has to say. Second few lines, this group has to say. And then you coordinate. This is the poem. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's complete the whole poem.
Yes, miss.
So slow, medium fast, super fast, so that there is some activity always. Then you add some actions to it. Simon says, raise your hand. Simon says, stomp your feet. So if they're in groups, then they don't give so much trouble.
Okay, miss. Thank you.
No, not at all. Try it. I really hope it works. Because I've also had very naughty children in my class. They do some things which you can't imagine. एक हमारे स्कूल में वेल होती थी, कुआं, और break में सब students used to go and try and jump inside it, you know, little ones. So the management was so frightened कि कोई ना डूब ना जाए पानी. Then they put a cover on that well. But that's the way they are, children. Curious. और उनको मालूम नहीं क्यों टीचर को ट्रबल देने में बहुत मजा आता है. But anyway, let's
मतलब क्या है, अच्छी चीजों को उनके मन में डालना है तो वो जल्दी से नहीं जाता है.
नहीं
मतलब जो
बिल्कुल
बैड
नहीं.
थिंग्स है वो बिना सिखाई करके आ जाते हैं.
हाँ बिल्कुल नहीं.
ऐसे.
उनको जो कोई चैलेंज करता है ना, चल आज तो ना बहुत नॉइज कर क्लास में, वो कर लेंगे. So they think they are heroes. पर ऐसा नहीं होता. We have to always try to understand them. It's not easy. Sometimes you yourself get very angry, you know. But anyway, let's try. Thank you so much, Preeti. और कोई है? अच्छा, कभी भी आपको मुझे कांटेक्ट करना हो, श्रीनिवास सर से आप कांटेक्ट करिए. He has got my contact details. नहीं तो I can put my email ID in the chat box. यहाँ पे है chat box. Just one second. And of course, the sir is there, Srinivas sir, but you can contact me anytime. I'm so happy to meet you. आज बहुत अच्छा लगा, you know, आप लोग बहुत participate कर रहे हैं, open up कर रहे हैं. That is wonderful. We are all teachers. आप मुझे contact कर पाएंगे anytime you want. With any queries, any questions, even for a chat, it's just fine. So wonderful. Be happy, be safe, keep on teaching, keep on enjoying. It was a really lovely session with you all. Thank you so much, Preeti. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank
And
you.
I hope to
Thank you,
meet you
ma'am.
one day. Are you all from Bangalore? सब
No,
Bangalore? नहीं? Okay. कर्नाटक से हैं? सब लोग कर्नाटक से हैं?
Maharashtra state.
महाराष्ट्र. अच्छा, wonderful. मैं पुणे से हूँ. I'm from Pune.
हाँ, हम भी महाराष्ट्र से हैं.
अरे वाह, आप कभी आए तो come and meet me in Pune. I'll be so happy.
Miss, where are you working now?
I am working in one school called Kalmadi School, and I have one online academy, Orchids Education. So मैं online teaching करती हूँ. Spoken English, storytelling, creative writing, public speaking. So that work goes on the computer. Kalmadi School, I go 3 times a week.
Is it international school?
International school, I used to teach in the students of Mercedes-Benz School in Pune. There are 4 or 5 of them, they were French. So they used to come to me for extra tuitions.
Very nice.
Yeah, I used to enjoy teaching them. So wonderful. And you know, I used to work with one lady who used to send us teachers to different English medium schools in Pune. We used to train them for 1 year in public speaking. And then the examiner used to come from London. So that organization, it was called the London School of Dramatic Arts. And then they used to get their certificate from London. The students used to do very well, all get distinction in their marks. So every child can do it.
Is there a Marathi international school syllabus? Marathi?
I will try to find out, Preeti. Marathi syllabus for international schools right now, I don't know. But mostly, see, international schools, they have a curriculum which is used all over the world. Same curriculum. So I don't know if there is a Marathi curriculum for international schools. Okay. I'll try to find out, Preeti.
Okay.
So thank you very much. And I hope to see you all soon again. Thank you.
See you again, ma'am.
See you again. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to that, Preeti, and to all of you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Very happy to be here today. See you all. Huh?
Bye, ma'am.
Bye. See you. There is
Thank you,
gentleman.
ma'am, for teaching us.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. There is a gentleman in our class.
So that was me, Srinivas.
Srinivas, thank you. I
Yeah.
just thought that, would you like to say some things to the teachers,
Thanks
Srinivas?
to Srinivas sir also who are sending us a link to join.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
so
We
much.
will keep doing such
Sure.
sessions on regular basis. So if you have any topics which you want ma'am to cover, or if you have anything in terms of difficulty in your classroom teaching, we'll be happy to help you out. But such sessions we are going to conduct on a regular basis. तर जे काही असेल तर मी मेसेज किंवा ते झूम लिंक मी तुम्हाला पाठवणार ऑन रेग्युलर बेसिस. थँक्यू.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.